ago, we understand that Jerry Lawler has bruised ribs and King Lawler that just came in a few moments ago. We understand that Jerry Lawler has bruised ribs and
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Wrestle Talks with Long Talks, Raw, SmackDown, and NXT reviews. I am your host, Aaron. Here is my trusty co-host. Welcome to the party, John. How are you, my friend?
How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. Obviously, before we start, we will touch on some news that happened earlier this evening. We would like to wish Hulk Hogan's family all the very best because obviously he recently passed away, and also the same to another WWE legend and Hall of Famer, Ozzy Osbourne, and his family. We hope at this time they are doing the best that they can, and we give both families our love at this time. So it's been a while because obviously you had stuff going on last week and everything else. So we have got a lot to talk about, my friend, between SmackDown, Raw, Women's Evolution, Saturday Night Main Event, Great American Bash, Raw and SmackDown episodes, and we'll touch base a little bit on with Slammiversary because that comes across with the reviews and that anyway. So, well, we're at it, and we are actually live on YouTube. I had to check that first, so we're all good. Everything looks like it's up and running, and we are thingy. So let's just start with Friday night SmackDown before Saturday night main event. So obviously the show opens because we're in Nashville, I'm sure it was. We're in the city where everything happens. It opens with a segment backstage with Jelly Roll and Mr. Randy Orton, wishing him well and everything else. But that comes to a head later on in the night. I thought for that, because really well, I thought it was a really nice opening segment. And like Jelly Roll looks amazing because we've seen him before and everything else, and it's just amazing to see what he's trying to achieve. And I'll touch base on that later on when we get through it because I've seen stuff because I'll fill it into us talking about what's happening on SummerSlam, which is only like a couple of weeks away as well. So also you get an early night segment right behind that with Heyman, which obviously sets up a match for later on in the night. Then we get a segment, another one before we actually get to the actual match. Is I love the fact that these two are a tag team right now, Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair, but they don't like. It's the way they do this stuff backstage and stuff, John. I don't know about you, but it's like they've got T-shirts saying that we're friends, not enemies, and stuff like that. I'm thinking that, in fact, gave a pep talk, and then she goes to ring for this fatal four-way match, which we're waiting to talk about, which is obviously Alexa Bliss versus Roxanne Perez versus Soul Recruit and Kairi Sane. Now, obviously, the respective partners of each of them were at ringside as well for this match. And stuff. And to me, I thought it was a good match, and obviously, Miss Bliss won. But to see, because other folk within it as well got outside interference, got involved, and like how like they're doing the stuff backstage, and Charlotte says, "No, I don't like you," but then she actually does get involved as well. I'm looking to see this different side to Charlotte Flair right now, rather than what we're used to see as Charlotte Flair. What about yourself, John?
No, I completely agree. Like you say, like the interaction between a Bliss and Flair, and also the other teams as well, like Zarya and Soldica and
the Kabuki Warriors.
Rock.
It's good to have the Kabuki Warriors back together. Very, very good. Which is going to set up stuff as we get further on and what happens in Raw and that. Then after this, we get tag team match. It was obviously for the World Tag Team Championships. I think that's what they're called on SmackDown. I might be wrong. But anyway, we get the Street Profits who are champions versus the Wyatt Six. And I thought, no, what, again, don't know about you. Profits been great as champions, have deserved their run. And also then it's been good to see what Wyatt's have been doing, but now to see them as champs is going to be interesting to see where that goes going forward with the rest of the tag team division and what's going on as well. I didn't expect, I know they got the contendership and everything else, but I didn't actually expect them to get the belts and win them. I'm happy that they have them, but obviously then after that, as we know, this is the way we cut. After the match and then winning, we get a backstage segment between Fraxium, Motor State Machine Guns, Gargano and Ciampa. They were obviously watching the match and they get angry, and Gargano tells them that they need to come together now because their worst case scenario just happened. And obviously then Ciampa then tells them that they should have listened to them, Income Ray Phoenix and Andrade, who I'm loving as well as a tag team just now, who tell them that they are now part of the tag team division, and all the teams start to argue. So the fact that they've now, yes, they've been teaming over the last couple of weeks on SmackDown, but the fact that they've been put together and added and they're now actually physically part, it makes the new division look, it's going to make it look good for what comes that we're going to talk about throughout everything as well. So, I don't know about you. This next segment, I'll start it. You could jump in anywhere, right? But I love this song, and I hate the fact that this asshole cut him off. Jelly Roll singing Liar, gets so far through it. Logan Paul comes out, talks trash to him about, are you serious? Blah, blah, blah. And calling him and saying, oh, we've built this business and people like you. And I'm looking at it thinking, wait a minute. Before you came into WWE, you are currently on YouTube, which he still does because has Impulsive Live, and he's like calling him an influencer. I'm thinking, wait a minute, is that not what you did before? Yeah. And stuff. And then Randy Orton, I've never seen Randy Orton so serious. The way he came out and went, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? He's the best at his craft at what he does and everything else. And then I loved that Randy got involved. I loved all that, but I just didn't see why I get the what we're building towards, and we'll talk about that throughout the evening. Because there was rumours of that he was going to be having a programme for SummerSlam, like that Jelly was going to be having it. But I just didn't understand. I could see why, because Logan is a heel and everything else. And then I love the fact that Randy came, because obviously Jelly's not a wrestler to try and get stuff. And then obviously he does what he does. What happens in the next segment, that basically he takes out Orton, and Jelly standing there thinking, shit, what do I do? And the fact, I know I did not expect this either, John, I don't know about you, but I did not, it wasn't much physicality, but I did not expect Jelly Roll to actually go in there and throw a couple of punches and stuff. And then the officials come from backstage, like the producers, Adam Pearce and all that, come from backstage to stop it. And he's trying to then still continually go and egg him on. And you can see Randy Orton loving it and happy that it's got over the way that he thinks it should have. And he's telling Jelly, wait, stop, stay back. And then he goes and smashes the guitar, which I thought added to the heat. But I know we've not had another celebrity in it for a while, but I'm looking forward to where this goes going further forward, because we'll talk about that as we go on. I don't know what your thoughts is on.
I like you say, I love the song Liar.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be interesting to see where this is actually going to all come together.
Mm-hmm.
And those punches that Jelly Roll was throwing were I wasn't expecting that either.
No, same mate. I was like, because I like you, because I know we spoke about it before and stuff like over, because obviously what was going on, and like we spoke about it thinking, holy shit, we didn't expect any of this to. We'd heard the rumours that was happening, like you always do. You can't keep anything from anyone anymore, if that makes sense. We heard it all, and the fact that it happened, and I was like, oh my god, wow. And then obviously after that, you get the next you get the backstage segment with them and Randy thanking him for his back, and then they're chatting away. And Randy says, you shouldn't have been in that position. And he says, well, you know what? I'm going to come and I'm going to be in your corner tomorrow night. And I thought, okay. And then you see the stuff going on with Logan and Drew McIntyre. So obviously for Saturday Night Main Event, they're in each other's corners. And then we get our... Say that again, bud?
Position.
Hmm?
I'm saying I'm not like back to put Drew in that position.
I'm not either, but it is what it is, unfortunately. It is. Maybe it's something that he'll enjoy doing, like helping Logan potentially and help put Jelly over when it comes to what we're going to talk about very shortly. Now we get Truth versus Black, but it's not Truth, it's Killings, and obviously Mr. Truth wins. Again, I'm loving what they're doing with both of them. Like him and like Aleister Black and R-Truth, like how they've been having segments backstage week after week, and it's came to had the fight, which was great. But I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes further with the involvement of Damian Priest in that as well, because he's been involved in them further on.
Is this not Black's first loss on SmackDown since he's returned?
Yes, it is, my friend. Well done. It is indeed. It is indeed. Which is why I alluded to, we get the segment backstage with Priest and Black. And he tells him that he's going to sort it and we'll work things out later and stuff and blah, 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 blah. Then we get the segment with Mrs. Tiffany Stratton, Trish. Obviously, Naomi comes out holding the briefcase, tempting fate, but Jade Cargill also comes in there in the mix, and they have a back and forth, which kind of sets up for what's going forward in Women's Evolution. And then the match opened that we talked about at the start of the show, like Jimmy Uso and LA Knight versus Solo Sikoa, and JC Mateo. That was the closing of the show. And obviously Jimmy and LA Knight win, which I kind of expected. The fact that the way they're doing it and trying to build the feud, to continue this feud, I think it's going to be very good. And I'm just happy that they're doing stuff with it, and what we spoke about has happened, but we will get to that when it comes.
Yeah.
Because I'm so happy. I am so happy that this has happened, and I'm looking forward to what's going to materialise going forward. But overall, for the show before, obviously, Saturday Night Main Event, I thought it was a really, really good show. I was expecting maybe, there probably was segments, but I've not had the proper chance to look over everything properly. More stuff with obviously for Gunther and Goldberg, because that's his retirement match, obviously, is on Saturday Night Main Event and everything else. But some of the stuff in there, the thing that you got with Jelly Roll, and that's leading in, and we're going to see more of what happens with that on Main Event and everything else. So all in all, a great show. The fact that they're cramming so much in again now because they're back down to 2 hours, I think they're using everybody how they can and in the correct ways as well, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So what did you think of the show, my friend?
I overall thought it was a great show, great go-home show to Saturday night's main. I thoroughly enjoyed, like, obviously the Whites winning the titles.
Yes, definitely.
I thought, you know what, Bray's looking down on them thinking, that's my team.
Yeah, 100%. You're 100% right, buddy, honestly. So, let's switch gears now, right into Saturday Night Main Event. So, obviously, the show opens with Randy Orton and Mr. Jelly Roll in his corner versus Logan Paul and Mr. McIntyre in his corner. Now, the winner of this match, John, who would that be, my friend?
Was it not a disqualification?
I don't think it properly finished, but the way it was put was like that Orton and that did win, but it's setting up furthermore for what's going on further down the line with the four of them. Like, good.
Didn't Mister not hit a claymore on Jelly though?
Yes, he did as well. Yes, but it's good to see though, right? I know we've just spoke about it. The fact that like he is an artist. I'm a country artist, singer, whatever. Sorry, but it's good to see that he's willing to do the do this and take these bumps as well. And obviously, like the same way when Logan would have came in, he would have been trained by whoever and whatever else, if you know what I mean, to take the bumps very well.
Yeah, because I think it's Randy Orton and LA Knight that's training Jelly Roll at the moment.
Oh, nice. Well, that makes sense if he's working with obviously Randy. That makes perfect sense. But you could see right now, though, as well in the match as well, how much Randy's loving life again in the WWE and how it's like he's pointing and you're seeing him going on about the voices being in his head and everything else and that. And I thought, oh, wow, and stuff.
Incredible as well. He's losing so much weight.
Oh yeah, 100%. Because obviously it was like that. Because obviously, whilst we're talking, sorry, I need to move. I've got cramp. Jesus, that's better. So that's where we talk on about it. Because obviously Stephanie McMahon's got her own podcast and stuff just now, and she's interviewing different stars, and she has obviously. Well, I will touch base on that when we get to the next SmackDown because it partays in with this week's SmackDown for leading the 18th of July SmackDown, sorry, for leading up to SummerSlam. Basically, she's on there, and he was on there going on about how he, said that he had stuff going on, and that's why, and everything else with the voices. And I thought he was really, and when it is, it's not a gimmick. It's because there was stuff going on years ago, but he's like. He didn't know anything about it, but he's managed to deal with it through the help and whatever way it is. And it was just to see being open and honest about stuff that's gone back on in his life years ago, and then Stephanie making that quip saying it's great you've got whatever that was on the stuff under control, but that's where the inspiration. And she goes, that's bringing it full circle because your song is I hear voices in your head, and actually you did, and he was like, yeah, it's cool. So because obviously what happened in this match. See that again, bud?
Her podcast's incredible.
Oh, I'm loving them, mate. Honestly, it's like it's great to see. Yes, she's no longer involved in WWE, but it's great to see. We'll see her now and again because obviously, yes, she does. She pops up at Women's Evolution and stuff. But it's great to see the fact that she's running with that and she's did all the other WWE stuff and getting all these other different people that come onto it and everything else. Because obviously what happened within that match and what Logan and Drew McIntyre did to Jelly, there was a segment afterwards backstage with Peterson and Aldis, and they're both bickering at fucking Logan Paul and Drew McIntyre, telling them, look, you're this, that, and the next thing, and stuff. Which, is that right? No, I'm losing my brain. Give me a second. That's the wrong one. That's the wrong one. That's the right one. Oh, it doesn't matter. Which? Say that again, bud.
What's going on with Pierce at the moment? Because I noticed that it was Aldis that was running Raw.
So I think it's the same. When he's been away, it could be he's had prior commitments and stuff. Yeah. I'm not 100% sure because I know it looks like from it looks like Pat McAfee's completely done from WWE by the looks of things right now for the time being from what I've seen on his Twitter and stuff. Now, am I right in saying is that where all this stuff, because what happened, that's where they alluded to what's going forward for SummerSlam, or is that in the SmackDown this week?
I couldn't tell you. I've not really.
No, that's fine, mate. Right, well, just carry on anyway. So they go on and moan about that, and then we get a segment with Io Sky backstage and going on about it, and then Cargill and Belair get involved and chat away and stuff about it, which it's about because that segment is leading up for what comes at Women's Evolution. So even though they're not featured on the show, it's good to see that they're still building towards the matches for the next night at Women's Evolution. Then we get, I love these two. They fight so well together, which is obviously Jimmy Uso and Solo Sikoa. And obviously, yes, it wasn't for the belt or anything. It was just, was
No,
it?
it was for the belt.
Was it? So Solo still got the belt then? Solo's still the champion. I was just wondering when I'm looking at that, thinking if that was for the title, he hasn't again. Okay, I've screwed up.
Yeah, 'cause it's Solo versus Jacob for the title at SummerSlam in the steel
SummerSlam, yeah.
cage.
Yep, I forgot about that. So, again, I love seeing these two together. Like, yes, they are family. They do so well. They know each other's movesets and everything else like that. But it is really good to see. Yes, Jimmy didn't win. I would have loved to have seen him get the rub, but I think that's coming and he will get that belt at some point. I just don't know when.
Yeah.
Oh no, this is where actually sharp. I'm flipping wrong here. So we get another backstage segment with Orton and Jelly, and this is where they're talking about stuff and what had happened in the ring, and that's when he says, "Right, let's take this to SummerSlam." So yes, I knew it was right, but it was in the wrong blinking place. But yes, so yeah. Now this match, I'm sad. I am, just because what's happened to Mr. Rollins. Obviously, Seth Rollins versus LA Knight. Two brilliant workers. I don't think, because what happened with Seth getting injured in the match, John, I'm sure it's his MCL he's now done, or something. He's done something. I'm sure it's his MCL he's done on his knee, because I know he's now on crutches and stuff and that. But I don't think, just right. Yeah, LA Knight won it. But I think because what happened with the injury, they've done what they normally do, like what happened when there was an injury before. They've just changed it, because you could see from his reaction. Yes, he won, but I don't think you could see from LA's reaction in the ring. He didn't look too happy that he'd won the way that he won, if you know what I mean.
It was just a BFT boom and then 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, but I get why it's been done, because obviously Seth's injured and everything else. But the way it is, they've had to get to that finish, do that. But in a way,
Yeah.
I don't think initially that was the way it was meant to go. I don't think Elliot was meant to win. I think Seth was meant to win, and they can continue the feud with them all, with him as well, with the rest of the crew. But I don't know where that goes now with Seth being off injured, and I don't know then now what happens with the Money in the Bank briefcase with him being out as well, if you know what I mean.
Remember, Heyman keeps saying he's got 12 months to cash it in.
Mm-hmm. I know he does, and I love what they've done with his briefcase. I love it. It's cool. It's so typically Seth Rollins. I'll let you talk about this match, because you just hated this match from the get-go, mate. From the absolute get-go.
Is this the Goldberg match?
That's the main event, but leading up to it, obviously they had different packages and everything else throughout the evening. Had different packages. Showed DDP in the at ringside. Showed other people that he'd been with at ringside. The guy that was head of security with him when he was at WCW, if I remember rightly from the back, I'm sure he was the one that knocked on the door and walked out with them, and others walked out with him as well, which I thought it was class to see him getting the walkout, like the way, and we getting to see that properly for one last time, because it's his retirement match. But take it away, my friend.
Yeah. I was so happy.
I knew you would be, mate. I knew you would be.
I was, because it looked, to be honest with you, it did look like Goldberg was going to win.
Yes, it did. Yes, it really did. But it makes, because it's not a big PLE, right? Because we're now doing Saturday Night Main Event again. I don't think it would have made sense if that was his last match, right? I know I said I thought he would win it. I know I did. But because that being his last match, it wouldn't make sense him to win the belt and then have to turn up on Raw to then drop it again the next night on Raw, if that was meant to be his final bow. Well, while obviously after that you get a break and stuff, and then they come back, and in the ring he's surrounded by his family and friends and stuff, which I thought.
Oh,
Say that again, bud.
They didn't on NBC. They didn't actually get to see the speech because NBC cut it off.
Yeah. So which I thought, no what, it was great to see the fact Jesse lost, but he got to have that moment in the ring with people that he'd worked with, friends and family and everything else. I thought it was a really, really fitting way to end his career and stuff and everything else. But I could see him popping up at shows again, like maybe just having a crowd spot like the way others do, which is it's good to see. I know, obviously, because TKO, they have UFC and whatever else. It's good to see, though, the fact that they have other wrestlers within their that are there, and when there's a UFC show, there's WWE talent there as well, and they're showcasing them, which I think was missed for so long, like when it was elsewhere. And people, I've seen it, right, moaning about, oh, there's stuff on the ring and everything else. Triple H doesn't make that decision. That's from the more higher ups now, up above him, if that makes sense. But again, I thought it was a really, really good show and stuff. Highlights for me has to be. I would have liked to have seen the Seth match go longer and get thingy. Happy Ellie won, but not the way he would have wanted, and everything else. But all in all, I think a great PLE to pull together so quickly and everything else, and throw. Now, did Jesse Ventura as well not get cut off at one point on his mic? You know how like he was up at the top with Joe Testero? Know how they do up top? And then you've got the commentators down there. I'm sure his mic got cut at one point for something. I'm not 100% sure what exactly.
He was complaining. He was away to complain again about the way a match ended, and he's like I think because Joe Testron tweeted out saying that he was away to complain
Uh-huh.
that the match shouldn't that it wasn't a legit injury for Seth.
All right, yeah. I thought it was around about that one. I just couldn't remember. I knew something, and so even I've seen it today. I've seen tweets of some people going saying, "Oh, it's a work," and I'm thinking, I've actually seen him on crutches and with the thing. So you know what I mean. It would be silly for them to say it's a work, if you know what I mean. When that kind of injury is a very bad injury, as we know, John. If you know what I mean.
Yeah. Well, I know. I've got another theory, but I'm going to wait till we speak about the Raw coming up.
Well, the Raw after Women's Evolution, with what happens in that Raw. Okay, right. So, okay, let's crack right on then. Women's Evolution. Second time they've ever did an all women's pay-per-view, which I think is brilliant for a company of WWE's size. And it's not before time that they should be I know the women get focused on now more than they did years ago, and they are actually treated similar to the men because they are getting main event spots like on SummerSlam, WrestleMania, stuff that they never ever got before, which is great to see how the change in the curve and the fact that they brought this match back out, this pay-per-view back out for all the women, I thought was really, really good and really interesting. Obviously, I think we get packages to open it up and everything else to portray. I'm sure Steph and Nikki come out and say stuff and everything else, if I remember rightly. Then we get to the first opening match, which is for the Women's Intercontinental Championship match. And it's a triple threat match, so anything goes in this match, obviously, because it's triple threat. So you've got Becky Lynch versus Lyra Valkyria versus Bayley. And obviously, the Irish Last Kicker retains. Again, I'm loving what I'm seeing from Lyra and how the both, like, the rise that she's had. Like, from NXT, obviously, when Becky was over there and Becky put her over in NXT, gave her the belt. Then she dropped the belt, came over here just to see her going up against two of the women at the moment who I think are, if not the best, up there as the best in the business. And the fact that she's able to go with the both of them. And you know what? I thought, again, I love how she comes out with the wings and everything else, the way where her character work is. It's just brilliant. But to be up against these two, it's just something phenomenal. But all in all, this match for me, I really like this match. and everything else. And yes, Becky retained, but that's going to change and things are going to go further. And I could see this with what's happening when we speak about Raw, that when we get to SummerSlam, something's going to happen around this at SummerSlam unless something's already been announced.
Yeah, no, I like you said, the entrance, Lyra's entrance is absolutely quality.
Yeah.
Especially when Cole gets involved with it as well.
Yeah.
But no, I actually thought Bailey was going to win, to be honest.
Fair enough.
But
reason why is it because she's just back, or is it because the way the match went?
It was a mixture of both. Her return back to the company was like she attacked Becky. She attacked Becky. And then it's nice also to see coach versus student as well, as like, because there's obviously like Lyra's been trained by Becky in the past.
Yes,
so.
Exactly, mate. And they're both Irish as well. So the roots are there. And obviously the fact is, as you say as well, Bailey and Becky have worked together, and then obviously Lyra as well. So for me, I agree with you, but just, you're right, with Cole getting involved, I'm loving how the commentary team are getting involved with different things now. It's great to see, because again, that never happened before. Yeah, I really thought this was a good match. Then we go on to go on. What were you about to say?
I was just about to say, like, years ago when JR and that used to get involved, they didn't used to get like the spotlight on them. It was mostly the spotlight on the superstar.
Yeah. And it's good to see them, not just him, but like the fact that he's working with either Corey or Wade or whoever. The fact that like they've got colour commentators in that, but just to see, even on NXT, to see Booker T and Vic Joseph, them all just being at ease and able to flow with the work that they're doing, and the way Booker does with certain stars, and like not taking anything away from them, but he's getting the element to do what he actually enjoys doing as well. Then next match is NXT Women's Championship. Jordana Grace versus Jacy Jayne. Jacy Jayne won the match, so she is still NXT champion. But take it away, my friend, what you thought.
Yeah. I was surprised. I'm surprised that she's kept the title for so long.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've heard the rumours that she was meant to just be a transition champion.
I've heard that too, yeah.
I don't know where this is going, but it is good for Bad Influence.
100%, mate.
Is it not? But no.
Fatal influence, bad influence, it's fine, it doesn't matter. It's the same.
So, but no, I'm looking forward to seeing where this is going to go because of what happened at Slammiversary as well.
Yeah. But the thing is, with that, because I know we spoke last time, I expected Jordana to win, because obviously she used to be TNA and Knockouts champion, and to go up against Misha Slavic at Slammiversary. I thought that would make sense. A former TNA Knockout, yes, she's on NXT now, but great to see the rise of Jessie. And I'm looking to see where it goes when we get to, because we need to touch on that slightly because of what happens in that, because it's mentioned in NXT anyway. So, then after that, I can't even. Oh God, what? I see you've gotten to. Oh fuck you. 2 seconds, mate. So then we get, sorry about that. Yes, I'm aware. Sorry, Tony has just informed me that I didn't change any of the things. It's still saying that we're live with Andrew, but I can't get into stuff like that at the moment. Then we go on to the women's tag team match, which is Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez versus Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss versus the Kabuki Warriors versus Sol Ruka and Zalia. Now, obviously, Judgment Day retain. I'll let you take us away whilst I carry on, and then I'll jump back in.
Yeah, no worries. Great match. I was actually surprised to see Roxanne and Raquel.
To retain, yeah.
Raquel? Yeah. Just because, like, obviously they two like have been bickering and
Yeah.
whatnot, and but it was nice to see all the teams come together and show what they can do against each other as brands like NXT, SmackDown, Raw.
Yeah.
And it was also nice to see the Kabuki Warriors reunited again.
Yeah. 100%, mate. No, what? It's good to see them back, if that makes sense. And everything else, because I thought it was happening and all that jazz. But I was just like, 2 seconds, I'm sending stuff. I thought, interesting, but like that, I didn't expect them. Well, I did and I didn't, because obviously it's their first offence as the two of them together. So I thought, okay, yes, why they've just put them together because obviously Liv's injured, right? No, he never did he? So it was good to see that was able to change, if that makes sense. But excuse me, sorry. I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes with them as the champs, if you know what I mean, and stuff. Then we get to Trish and Tiff for the belt.
Past versus present.
Yes.
Absolute clap. I don't have any fault in that match whatsoever.
No, and good to see, obviously, Trish obviously putting her over and letting her retain and stuff. But no, what, as you say, you're right, past versus present and stuff, and all that jazz. Cool. But it's very interesting to see, because like the way these matches were built, how they picked their own partners, which I said at the time when we initially spoke about it, I didn't think they had anything creatively for them. But then again, I could be completely and utterly wrong and stuff. But all in, you're right. I can't fault this. For me, it's, I'm swirling between this and another match to be match of the night, if that makes sense. I am swirling between that and another.
I know exactly what match you're talking about.
And then obviously we get to the match with Jade and Naomi, with Bianca Belair as a special guest referee. Now, obviously, yes, Jade wins, which I expected to happen. But I'm sure, was there not a referee bump in this match as well? Because we seem to get them quite often. Was there not a bump?
Yeah, I think Bianca got knocked out.
Yeah, that's what I did think that. But you know what? I'm just loving the rise of Jade again. Great to see what Naomi's doing. I'm loving her character change completely. How they've flipped that switch, and how she could be at a press conference after, right, and she could be like the way we are right now speaking, but then she could flip the switch in a character like that, and I think that is class to show the work and how it's taking the length of time for everything else, because we're getting there, man, and stuff, right? But all in again. Then so we got a battle royal, right? It was 20 women. Now I can't remember everybody that was absolutely in this battle royal, but if memory serves me correctly, whoever won this battle royal gets a title shot at Clash in Paris, correct?
Yes.
And so whoever it wins, whichever brand they are on, they will have a title shot against that current champion at Clash in Paris. So Stephanie Vaquer wins this battle royal. Very, very happy. Very, very happy for her. And again, I've liked what I've seen, like when we got all the stuff, even when Zarya came in, that when we got all the vignettes of these guys coming in, and now the fact they're now in the main roster and they're showcasing what they can actually do, dude, it's just phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal, and stuff. And I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes for when it gets to Clash, because obviously what's going on, which we could talk about when we get there very shortly, it's just, oh mate, honestly, wow.
It could, you know what? It could have been a completely different card if that injury hadn't happened to
Yes,
Liv.
100%. If that, yes, mate. Look, see if that didn't happen, I think we were going to get another returning Bella, and we were going to have the Bella twins versus her and Raquel Rodriguez in a match, just the two of them together.
Yeah.
And I do. You're right, but it hasn't. With what's going on, they've had to do stuff to elevate that, and like that's like as we see with kayfabe. John, I was going to call you Craig there. Jesus Christ. Things happen and they have to fix it. Like they could have, like, as we know, like WWE change everything, like, and stuff. And I'm looking forward to watching Unreal on Netflix on the 29th of July. That's when it comes. I'm just plugging it for them, but there we go.
5 days
5
so
days.
far.
I'm looking forward to seeing that, because that's giving you an insight back behind the curtain about and how far in advance they actually plan, whether it be SummerSlam, WrestleMania, whatever else. You know what I mean?
I think the episodes, the Raw 2 Netflix, and then the episode after that, I think, is how they planned the John Cena heel turn.
Yeah. No, I'm looking forward to seeing it. I know there's a lot of folk and other wrestlers that are not particularly, excuse me, thingy with it, if you know what I mean. But all in,
It'll just be like an option of Beyond the Mat.
yes, but you know what? It's good to see them doing something different and letting us look at different things and see, right, why we've went here or why we've went that way. And if it's successful, they could do another one later, if you know what I mean. And
Yeah,
such,
like season 1, season 2, season 3.
like what you've got with Dark Side of the Ring, you've got so many of them. And then we get to the main event of the evening. Io Sky versus Rhea fucking Ripley for the Women's World Heavyweight Championship. What a fucking match, my man. And the right fucking time to do it too. It's like
exactly
the fact that she comes, or they're going through, they're doing it, and then it's like, don't get hurt. Then like turns it into a triple threat. I'm thinking, never seen a swear cashing before in my life. Like it happens, and I'm thinking, is she going to do it? Isn't she going to do it? And I'm like, no, just see before that happened, right? Before Naomi came down and saying she was cashing in, brought the referee, mate. This match with they two was just absolutely phenomenal. Like, they work so fucking well together, mate. So fucking well.
Remember, Rhea Ripley still hasn't beat Io Sky 1-on-1.
Yes, I know, mate. I know, and I'm wondering, right, as well, is that why they did what they did and stuff? So, like, she's not she's not taking the loss. Or did she take a pin? I can't fucking remember, actually, because it was that long ago.
I think it was Rhea that took the pin.
Yeah, so, you know, but it was just how she came down, says yes, then gets involved, there's a couple more, and then it's the 1, 2, 3, and I was like, I'm sitting there thinking, no fucking way. And I was like, you know what I mean? I was like, oh, wow. And I'm thinking, right, okay, how are we doing that? Wait a minute. And I'm like, wait, what? So she's no longer on SmackDown because she cashed in. She's now a Raw superstar because she has the World Heavyweight Championship. So I'm looking forward, because we're getting there. I'm looking forward to seeing where that goes for her now, being on Raw with the other women on Raw now. And she's got the title on Raw and everything. She's going to actually now have a target on her back, John.
Question is, did she get all her stuff out of the briefcase for?
Yeah. But I just loved how she was inventive with it, though. You know what I mean? No one's ever, I don't think anyone else has ever thought of something like that. You know what I mean? But no, so fucking happy for her. So happy.
Absolutely. It was a long time coming.
Oh, yeah, 100%. But see, between all the matches, mate, and as you say, the card, it was a brilliant card. But I do believe if the other thing didn't happen, that would have just made it even more with that other match. That would have, but I think that could still happen. Like, once she, like, gets fit and stuff again, I think they could revisit that when Nikki and stuff will happen, if you know what I mean. All in all, brilliant for the second time that they've done it. Like, and I'm hoping that they then do it again, if you know what I mean, which will be great to see. I'm hoping they do. And then you get to showcase talents from LFG, Evolve, and more NXT stars. If they're still in partnership with TNA and that's going well, more TNA stars and stuff, if you know what I mean. So, and that, it was just, all in all, I thought, but for me, yeah, that match was match of the night. Sorry, dude.
No, you know how well, we were speaking about Goldberg's last match.
Mm-hmm.
We've got one last match in TNA.
Yeah, I know, mate. I know. We'll get there. We will get there. I'm looking forward to that, actually. So yeah, no, I do think. For me, between them, I did say it was JC or it was Jordana Grace or that. So Rhea Ripley and that, just because of everything else, definitely for me, match of the night, and then Grace and JCJ a close second, 100%.
Yeah.
So you agree, and you're just no. It's Great American Bash is next, mate. Fucking hell. The fact, I get why they've done it, right? Because they had so much crammed in because you had all in the same weekend. So I get why WWE have tried to capitalise on it and stuff. So we get it opens, we get the opening segment, we get someone singing the national anthem. I don't know if it, can't remember if it was like, I know Lillian is, no, she's doing stuff with, she's finishing off stuff with Saturday Night main event, and then because she's no longer with the company, but she's still fulfilling some dates that she still has. So the opening match we get was Javon Evans versus Troy Bampot. Name's gone. Troy Jesper. That could be wrong, and I could have butchered the boy's name.
Jasper Troy.
Jasper Troy, yeah, instead of Troy Jesper. There you go. See, I told you, mate, I'd muck it up. Mr. Evans wins. Thoughts?
Do you know what I think? I think they're building him to be the next big star.
Yes, I thought that, mate. I really did. It's just looking at his work and what he's doing.
And with what happened, I know we're going to be speaking about it later on, but after what happened at the end of this week's NXT,
yes, 100%, mate. Yes, I totally agree. I see why now, 100%. Sol Ruka, Izzy Dame. Talk me through it, mate. Talk me through it, because obviously Sol Ruka won.
Sol Ruka won.
Yes, that's what I mean. Honestly.
Yeah. No, honestly, like they two together are absolutely phenomenal.
See them together,
like,
right? Fighting along, mate. I see. I know where you got facing heels and stuff, right? Because they work so well together in the ring. I would, at some point, because they work so well together, maybe put them together as a tag team and see how they flourish together as a team with an NXT.
But move them up to the main roster.
Yes.
And then have them.
Have them challenging, and whether it be Judgment Day or whoever's got the belts. I totally agree. Oh, was this Ethan Page? Ricky Saints?
This was an absolute barn burner.
Yes.
One of the best Falls Count Anywhere matches I have seen in a while.
Yes. 100%, mate. For me, looking at it, because obviously you get other stuff that happens in that, but for me, just the way that match was and how they were every fucking where in it, that for this show, match of the night for me. I don't know about you because obviously others, but for me, just the way it all went and everything else.
100%. Just because the fact that, like, I know it's a different. I know the two companies are going at war, but I like how they've kept it going from AEW and then they've brought it over and
Yes.
just sort of continued it.
Yeah, I love it, mate. It's just the fact that they both were over there and they're both now here. It is frightening to see, and they're both so good at what they do.
Because if I'm not mistaken, didn't Ricky Starks, Ricky Saints or Ricky Starks, whatever you want to call, lose the TNT title to Ethan Page in
Yes,
AEW?
you are right, my friend. You are very right. Then we get the contract signing. The contact. Oh, for God's sake! The contract signing for Slammiversary with Joe Hendry.
Trick Williams.
Yep,
and
Mike Santana. And then, obviously, you know what happens when there's a contract signing? Someone always goes through a fucking table. 100%. But no, it's, again, we keep saying it. It's great to see that they're still using them and all the stars are getting used and utilised across both brands and stuff. So, and I'm going to butcher this guy's name. It was obviously for his belt. It was whatever title Obafemi's got.
The
NXT.
WWE NXT.
And he's NXT because Ethan Page is the North American champion. That's it. Obafemi versus Yoshikini Anamuri. And I've probably fucked it. But anyway, go on. You know I have. Go on.
Great match. Fantastic way to end the match.
Oh yeah, 100%, mate. Absolutely, and I'm loving it. See when the time comes. Femi's going to be a